welcome to Scrushy on Business. This is a new episode this week. It's really excited to have you dialing in and checking in with us at Scrushy on Business. You know, we always talk about things that I think entrepreneurs are interested in, and we talk about things that anybody who is building a business, if you already have a business, no matter how small or how big, but things that might just make you think, about, what's important. And if you haven't made the transition to starting your own business, I really think that if you just stay tuned and watch our podcast every week, we'll pass along some really good information that will in fact help you with your idea of whether or not you want to even motivate you to go ahead and make the change and move from a steady job to possibly owning your own business, because you'll never build $1 billion business if you never start trying to build $1 billion business. So we have a new platform now. We're launching. This is our first episode on our new platform. I have worked in the past with a great co-host, David Green. I'm not with him now, and maybe we'll do some things in the future, but I will be adding a co-host in the future. But right now I'm going to do some of these podcasts just myself, because I want to talk to you about a lot of different things that hopefully will encourage you, or interest you at least, in terms of you building your own business. And by the way, I'm excited. We have a new sponsor. We have a great sponsor. It's called Brothers Cleaning. And you can go to brotherscleaning.com and you'll find that probably the best cleaner that you'll ever put your hands on right here. And this is a multi-purpose cleaner. It cleans everything. Let me read what it says on the back here. It says, Brother, it cleans. It cleans carpet, floors, furniture, windows, countertops, fabrics, cloth. You can use it to clean linen. You spill blood, or you get grease, or you get, salad dressing on your favorite shirt, or on your wife's linen dress, whatever. This will take it out. So you can clean cloth, linen, plastics, leather. You can clean leather with it. So you can clean your seats in your car with it. Stainless steel. It's great for cleaning your stainless steel refrigerator, your stove. If you have in restaurants and in any kitchen, you have things in there that are stainless steel. It does a great job in cleaning, makes it look brand new. So glass, it out cleans, I think, Windex. I've used it on glass. I found that cleaning windows, it's just fantastic. Clean the windows in your car. Great for cleaning windows. Use it on wood. And here's a real important thing. A lot of cleaners will destroy marble or granite. This cleaner does not. It's very safe to use on granite surfaces and on marble. You want to make sure, guys, that your wife has this. And ladies out there, you're going to need this to clean your kitchen countertops. I promise you, it's a great product. It also is great for vehicles, your cars, automobiles, and boats, RVs. You will not need, if you have an RV or a boat, you can throw everything else away. This is the only cleaner you need, because it will clean everything. You can clean your carpet with it. You can clean the wood. You can clean leather. It'll clean vinyl. It'll clean cloth, seats. There's nothing that your glass, your floors, your bathrooms, you can clean anything with it. So it's great. It's an interior and an exterior cleaner. It's a multi-purpose cleaner. And let me tell you the good news about it. It has a neutral pH. Matter of fact, this pH test out is 7.0, so it's totally neutral. It is non-toxic. There's no acids, no alkalines. It's VOC free. It's earth friendly, so it's safe. It's safe around your pets and around your children. I found that people that have allergies and have problems breathing, different scents. A lot of cleaners have a smell, put off a scent. They have chemicals in them that you smell, and it irritates the lungs, especially people with a chronic obstructive lung disease, asthma, pulmonary fibrosis. This cleaner has no smell. It's amazing. There's no smell to it at all. Very, very safe. Very, very safe. And it doesn't hurt you if it gets on your skin. It no problem. And it comes with this really neat sprayer that gives you a spray or a squirt. So if you're trying to let me give you an example. Red wine out of a shirt. This will take it out. I have a dear friend that told me that he uses this for a ring around the collar. And he is the dean, matter of fact, of a business school. And he said, Richard, this is a multi-million-dollar product, because he says, I use it, spray it on my ring around the collar, drop my shirts into the washing machine, pull it out, and that ring around that collar is gone. Whole lots of uses for this. We'll talk more and more about this from episode to episode, but you can go to brotherscleaning.com, brotherscleaner.com, and you can buy this. off of their website. And I think they've got some really good prices. As a matter of fact, I think this 132 ounce here I think it's $15.95, and then if you want to buy 4 of them, they do a 4-pack, and if you buy a 4-pack, one of them's free. So very good pricing on it. It's an excellent product. Love for you to try that. I use it every day. My wife uses it. All my friends use it. And you know, a lot of times when you have a sponsor on a show like this, you don't really use the product. This product, if you ever start using this, you'll throw everything else out in your house. This will be your #1 cleaner. And I promise you guys, cleaning the interior of your car, your dashboard, your seats, everything is fantastic. We use it as a carpet cleaner in our house as well. It's fantastic for that. If you have pets and you have pet problems and you have spills and they make mistakes and accidents, this is a great product to clean. Brothers Cleaner. You want to try that? It's a multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser. Absolutely. So today I want to talk to you about some really neat stuff. You know, we talked about bootstrapping, and if you're out there and you're just trying to get your company up and going, you've got another job over here and you're trying to start this company. You know, I was looking at a lot of companies that were bootstrapped that ended up being really successful companies. I'll tell you, here's a company that I actually have used this product, Untuck It. Some of you guys out there may have bought some of the shirts from Untuck It. That was a bootstrapped company. As a matter of fact, they bootstrapped it. They started in February of 2011, and they started selling their shirts, you know, casual shirts designed to be worn untucked, which was kind of a neat thing. I like them. I really do, because they don't look, when you put them on, you know, they don't look like they need to be tucked in. So it's kind of neat. So they started this company with their own funds, and now they operate in excess of 80 physical retail stores, and of course they sell a lot of product online. I bought a couple of shirts online myself. And then another company that is pretty interesting is Gymshark. Founded in 2012 in the UK. They started in a garage by a fellow by the name of Ben Francis while he was just a student. And his initial funding was only $1,000 to $2,000 of his personal savings. And that company today grew through social media influencers. And of course, we know today that social media influencers play a major role in promoting all kinds of different products. And we see that online on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. And so they went direct to consumer, and that was their e-commerce model. And now that company's valued over $1 billion, okay? Yeah, valued over $1 billion. And they did receive an investment later from General Atlantic in 2020. But here you got a $1 billion company that was started by a student in his garage, and he putting in $1,000 to $2,000. So that's under the apparel and fashion area. And then there's the company that I thought was kind of interesting, Rexbar, RX-Bar, B-A-R. That was started in 2013 by 2 founders just making bars in their kitchen. Now get this, they were making the product in their kitchen, okay? Bootstrapped, early growth by selling it directly to gyms and small retailers. They went out and sold that project to gyms and small retailers. And get this, guys, they sold the company to Kellogg for $600 million. So, I mean, that's the American dream. And so entrepreneurship is alive, and bootstrapping and building companies is real, and it does happen. So Halo, Top Creamery, let's see, founded in 2011. It was bootstrapped development of a low-calorie ice cream formula. It became the best-selling pint of ice cream in the U.S. within a few years. That's just another company. Let's see, Allbirds. You might have seen the Allbirds, the shoes, the tennis shoes, right? Founded in 2016, direct-to-consumer shoe brand built around sustainable materials. Began with a small crowdfunding campaign before raising larger capital. Became a very successful company. How about the Dollar Shave Club? You know, that's actually, I had someone give me that, hooked me into the Dollar Shave Club as a Christmas present one year. Started with viral marketing, video, and minimal capital. Bootstrapped early on, sold to Unilever, guess what? For $1 billion. I mean, come on, guys, $1 billion. I mean, this is incredible. So again, entrepreneurship is alive. and the opportunities are incredible. Okay, and so when you look at some of the companies and the process and they went through and the stages, it started with maybe one product. They launched an online sales process. They had a small production run, and then of course the next thing was the brand building, where they added the influencers and the social media and the e-commerce, the opportunity. And I'm today, when we look at Brothers Cleaning, this product, this company, that's what this is. This is a bootstrap startup company that is using this podcast as a way to promote their product, as well as online. And they will be doing online. You'll see influencers promoting the product, and you'll see it most likely on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and some other things now that the product is being launched, and we'll be promoting it. So social media, e-commerce growth, you'll be able to buy it online. You've got the companies like Shopify that assist with that, and then of course there's Amazon, being able to move the product onto Amazon and Alibaba and different other places. And of course, over a period of time, getting this into retail stores like a Home Depot, others, private labeling it and maybe finding it on HD Supply and Lowe's and some other places. That's always an opportunity. Then you begin with national distribution. Now there's an opportunity also for licensing and private labeling and white labeling. And people ask me, what does that mean? What that means is, for example, we could take this Brothers Cleaning product, which is an outstanding product. Again, very, very safe around children, pets, cleans. I mean, I could tell you what's in it. It's just unbelievable. It's a dynamite product. So easy to use and so safe. I mean, you can put it in the water. You can wash your boat with it. It won't hurt the fish. It's just a fantastic product. But when you start looking at private labeling, there are companies out there that are cleaning companies that are cleaning homes, for example, or cleaning, selling cleaner to clean restaurants or hotels or using in hospitals, right? And those companies have a name. You could take this company here could very easily private label this product, or what we call white label, so it would not have Brothers on it. It would have the name of their company. Now, let me tell you this. There are things that can slightly change to give them an exclusive. For example, the chemical makeup of this. And you can actually dilute this product here easily 10-to-1 and it still be a very effective cleaner, okay? So selling this product in bulk to a major cleaner, you could see this company actually selling them a concentrate, maybe in a 50-gallon drum that could be mixed 40-to-1. So they wouldn't have the cost of shipping, and they could then mix it on site themselves and they can private label it. Cleaning automobiles, automobile chains and used cars, and I'll tell you another one, collision. A chain of collision places where they actually fix wrecked cars. I mean, that's some of the dirtiest. I mean, you go in there and the dust is incredible, right? From all the sanding and all the things they have to do. So all of those cars have to be really cleaned up well. This is an excellent product for that. And so this could be private labeled to them, but also others can private label and then resell it. So, and I'm just using this product as an example, but there are a lot of different products out there that you can private label if you're a manufacturer. So, I'll tell you another couple of companies. What about Yeti? Everybody's got a Yeti, right? You got to have a Yeti. It holds ice forever. If you got one of those Yeti ice chests, I remember we went on a trip once, vacation, and I had my Yeti cooler, right, and filled it up with ice and drinks. And 5-6 days later, I opened it up, it still got ice in it. So, I mean, that's an incredible product, right? So that was built for fishing and hunting enthusiasts, and that was built by Roy and Ron Siders. I think this is how you pronounce their name, Seiders. So they built these premium coolers and made for trips like that, so that it would keep everything cold, right, for several days. Initially, they were funded through personal savings and small bank loans. They did have some bank loans. and they grew this into a multi-billion-dollar outdoor gear company. So very, very, very successful company, Yeti. We know that. Again, entrepreneurs, and you're out there. You know, you have an idea, and you have a product, you believe in it, and you've tested it. This again, I have to go back to the cleaner. This cleaner has been tested and tested. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. I tell you, I've seen some things with this cleaner, like blood on a white couch, took it right out. You know, red wine. I mean, I've used this on my ties where I had got grease on it from, you know, being sloppy in the restaurant, and you know, you've got Italian salad dressing and it gets on your tie and destroys the tie. You got a very nice tie. You can't get it out. You can't, what are you going to wash it? You can't throw it in the washing machine, destroy the tie. No, but you can spray this on it and then just get a wet rag. Let it sit on there just a little bit, because the chemical in here will lift it out a little bit, and then you can wipe it off. So they're products that are unusually good that can be built, and you can process, manufacture, and sell. Again, this is a perfect bootstrap company, and I think it's going to be really successful. There's another company that I wanted that is called Native, Native. This was founded by Moez Ali. He started this as a natural deodorant that was sold online. He built a brand with digital marketing and reinvested profits, and he sold this to Procter & Gamble for $100 million. Again, entrepreneurship, alive and well. You want to do something really successful in your life, what's the opportunity? I mean, what can be done? There you go. These are bootstrap companies. I'm only talking about bootstrap companies right now. And these are not venture capital backed companies that were built to scale, where they came in and put 100 million in, or put 10 million or 20 million in, and you scaled it real fast and built it and sold it for several hundred million. I'm talking about bootstrap companies built like the guy that built the company out of his garage. He was a student and only put a couple of $1,000s in it, and he ended up selling the company for, you know, 800 million or whatever it was. I mean, it's tremendous. Hydro Flask, that's another company. It was founded in 2009, started with a simple insulated bottle design, and that was built through outdoor retail distribution and word of mouth, and sold to Helen of Troy for $210 million. So that guy became a very wealthy guy. That was totally bootstrap company. So, you know, when you think about bootstrap companies, there's a common pattern in bootstrapping. Number one, you've got a breakthrough product. A breakthrough product right here cleans everything. You don't need, you take everything in your house and get rid of it. This is the only cleaner you need. It's nothing this won't clean. You can mix it with hot water, put it in your shampoo your carpet with it. You can clean everything with it. All of your countertops, clean your windows, clean your couch, your upholstery. You know, you can even wash clothes with this. This would, if you put this in your washing machine with your clothes, and you got a bunch of grease on it and dirty on it and stuff, things on it, it's hard to get out. This will help get it out. Okay, so a breakthrough product. Start with a single product, solving a very clear problem. Untuck It. Those Untuck It shirts, first time I saw the advertisement and I saw how cool they were, and they didn't have to tuck them in, and they look, you know, because men don't really like that. If you're going out just hanging out with your wife or your girlfriend and you're just going out to a cool place to have dinner, you'd just soon not tuck that shirt in, you know. I mean, really. And I mean, it would be nice to be able to let it just kind of hang down loose. And a lot of guys, matter of fact, like that. And it's a casual look that's pretty neat. And you can wear a sport coat with it, or a sweater, or a vest, or whatever. So anyways, the bottom line is, you've got a breakthrough product. You start with that one product, right? And then you manufacture usually a small batch, because you got to test it. I mean, there's no reason for you to go out and again, you know, they didn't need to make 1,000 bottles of this, just a handful of them, maybe a couple of dozen, and go out and test it and make sure that it did everything they thought it would do. And once they found out it did, then they went into production where they could make 1,000. So small production run until you prove the product. And then you start with direct sales, right? So this is, you do some online, and of course you go direct. You can go to various different places and sell it. Like this product here, you can go into restaurants and sell it to clean the stainless steel, to clean the floors, to clean the walls, to clean the windows. There's one restaurant that I went into that told me they were using that product to clean all of their brass. They have brass doorknobs and brass. They clean the windows, they clean the brass, and they clean the walls too as well. Where, in kitchens where they're cooking all the time, they get grease on the walls. This is the best stuff in the world to take that grease off. Spray it on there with a wet rag, just wipe it off. The grease comes right off because this breaks that grease down. It's a degreaser as well. And so you see a lot of direct sales initially, and then you get traction, and you end up, this ends up on a retail or online or some way people start ordering lots of it, and then it grows. And it may just be that it goes to, to Amazon and becomes a real big hit there. So there are a lot of different things that can happen, but I want to talk to you just about a little bit about the traits of an entrepreneur. Certain things that, you say, am I an entrepreneur? What makes me an entrepreneur? What I always say, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the risk. I'm so certain about what I'm believing in and what I want to do that I'm not afraid to run from the risk. If you look at just the pure definition of entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, he takes on the risk of a business. That's what he does, and he is responsible for that. And it just may be that he's using other people's money, so he's taking on that risk. But he can't be afraid. If there's a fear of failure, the chances are he probably is not going to be successful. So there's several things. Number one, what I have found is that an entrepreneur is very curious, always looking at things, and it looks at things different. Looks at like, well, I wonder how big of a business that would be. I wonder how many people would need that. Well, would I use it? Who else do I know that would use this? Is this something that you can manufacture in a cost-effective way? I wonder what it would cost to make that. I wonder how many of those you could sell. I mean, how many people would buy that? And so you're very curious. And I always like to say, how big is the market? Is it just in Texas? I mean, would it sell in California or New York or Florida? How big is it? Would it sell in Europe? And is this a national, international, local? What is this? And there are different things. I mean, you can be an entrepreneur and just open one restaurant and take the risk of that, and you just say, okay, this is an area, and they need a catfish or a barbecue place, right? And there's not one anywhere around here. And I see the opportunity for me to open one up, and I can get all of those folks that want barbecue, or all those folks that want to go to Catfish Cabin, they can come to my place right here. And I'm going to have the only one here, or I'm going to have one better than the others that are in the area. And so you take that risk, and you're willing to do that. But I'm just going to open one of these, or maybe you have the idea that if this is successful, I'll open 10 more or whatever. So you start somewhere. But then there are those businesses that you start with knowing, I'm going to build 100 of them. I'm going to build 1,000 of them. We're going to build several thousand of them. And they're going to be everywhere because everybody needs these products. And so, or needs what I'm going to build. Everybody can use it. Or everybody, say from the age of 15 to 50 or whatever. And so you begin to analyze exactly how big is the market. And then you begin to determine how many of these we might be able to build, and what is the cost of it going to be, and then what kind of margin we're going to be able to make in this. So I'm curious. Albert Einstein once said, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. So he was passionate about his curiosity. So it's an essential person. It's truly a personality trait for an entrepreneur, aspiring business owner. Okay. So curiosity is important for you in order to learn everything there is about the industry. So if that you're interested in, you think you've got a great product and it's going to be this, or your service is going to be that, what about everybody else in that industry, or anybody that's close to it, or what else are they doing? Where else could they go? Where else could they get this product? What else is there? So you got to really look at, the universe of what you're doing, and does it make sense? Is anybody else in the world doing it, and how are they doing it? And how does it compare to the way I'm doing it? And is my way going to be better? And why would patients come to me if I was building a healthcare facility versus that's doing something and somebody else is doing something similar? Why would they come to me versus them? Or why would they buy my product versus somebody else? So it doesn't matter whether you're building boats or you're selling fishing equipment or it's whatever, whatever you're making, okay? So, and really that kind of goes to the second thing. And the second thing that I think an entrepreneur has, they're very aware. They have an awareness of what's going on in the world, in industries, in different industries, and in the financial markets. They're very aware. They're aware of their environment. They're aware of something else that they have to be aware of. They have to be aware of their own capabilities and their own skill set. What can I do? What do I do best? I mean, I'm not going to run out Richard Scrushy and start trying to build a house because I don't really have the skill set. I did own a construction company, by the way, but I had construction people working for me that knew how to build houses and frame them, and brick masons and plumbers and roofers and all that. But that wasn't my expertise. I mean, I did lay some brick when I was coming up for a year with a brick mason, and I probably could go out and lay some brick now and make some mortar and do all of that and build the scaffolds. I got that. But that was not my expertise, being a construction contractor. Even though I had a construction company, I had contractors working for me that, in fact, construction general contractors that knew what they were doing. So and that was how that worked. So what is your expertise? You be aware of your capability and what you can do. Now, do you have leadership skills? Are you good at managing? Are you a financial person? Are you manufacturing? Are you an engineer type? What type are you? So there's an awareness not only of your market and everything that's going on around you, but has to be an awareness of yourself and who you are. And then another thing is you're going to have to be, let me tell you, if you're not persistent, you'll never make it as an entrepreneur building a company. You have to be persistent. You have to be every day getting up on time. And I used to say, you've heard the old saying, the early bird gets the worm, right? Well, that is a fact. You've got to get out there. I used to tell my people when I was building Health South Corporation, we're going to be here early. We're going to come in early before our competition even gets up. And we're going to already be thinking about what we're going to do today and how we're going to exceed and how we're going to beat them and how we're going to be bigger than them and how we're going to be better than them and all of those things. That's something that you have to do. And when you set that, in your company, when you set that as a standard and when people see it in you, the people that work below you, that they'll come in with that same energy level and that persistence to break through. People will come to you trying to build a company, and I mean, they're going to come to you and give you 100 reasons why you can't do this and you can't do that, and I couldn't get this done and couldn't get that done, and you're just going to have to say, here, just give me that. I remember the times where I had people tell me, I can't get that doctor to do this. I could get them to do that. I said, well, give me the phone. Let's call him. And I'd get them on the phone and I'd say, look, Doc, we got to make this happen, and here's why. And I would explain it to them. And when they gave me the reasons, and I'd say, no, I hear you, but we can get around that. There's a way around that, Doc. We'll find a way because we have to do this. And then they would say, well, okay. I just went through something the other day. I had a friend of mine had asked me to get somebody to listen to do a Zoom call, and they wanted to do a presentation on a Zoom call about a business they had. And the guy asked me to make the call and set it up because I knew the guy that they were trying to pitch to. So I called him up and he said, I don't have any interest in that. And my buddy, my friend, he was really interested in doing this and it was important to him. And I said, no. Well, you've got to do this. I promise you, if you will do this I said, you're my friend and he's my friend. Please give him this time. He only an hour out of an entire week. If you'll give him the 1 hour and let him present, I promise you'll be glad you did. Well, let me tell you, he fought me. I tried to get him to do a face-to-face and he wouldn't do it. So he did agree to do a Zoom. So I set it up as a Zoom, and guess what? Looks like he's going to do business with him. He actually liked everything he saw. He was very, very positive, and I think they're going to get the business. So I was really proud that I put those two together. Another thing, adaptivity. one of the things that you're going to find in building a company is that some of the things you think, this is the only way I'm going to do this. This is how it's going to work. It's this way, or I won't do it any other way. Well, you're going to find out that's not true. Because you're going to hit rainstorms and snowstorms and valleys and fires and mountains to climb and all kind of different things, and you're going to have to figure out how to get around that one and how to get through this one and how to get over that one and how to get under this one. I'm telling you, your people are going to come at you with all these different renditions of problems over time, and you're going to have to deal and fight with every one of them, and you're going to have to find ways around all kind of things. So you have to be able to change. You have to be able to change. That's all I'm telling you. Everything's not going to be the same. It's not going to be cut and dried. It's not going to always be one way. And they're going to be, in order to get the business and to grow your business and to grow your company, you have to adapt to special situations because things do change. And if you can't do that, you're going to have some tough times. You're going to struggle. So think about this. What about companies that, you're out there running your business and all of a sudden COVID hits? We're talking about adapting. We had to adapt to a whole new world, didn't we? Going through just the COVID pandemic and what that required businesses to do. Your business model had to change or else you went out of business. And look, let's just think about that. What did I just say? Or else you went out of business. How about all the companies that went out of business because they couldn't adapt? They couldn't change, and they didn't change. And they ended up shutting down. No, you have to adapt. You have to be able to, and that's for survival. So adaptivity, remember that. So we're looking at things. We're looking at the courage. We're looking at awareness, persistence, adaptivity, and now the next one is creativity. Creativity. You're going to have to be creative. I can tell you that right now. And one of the things that an entrepreneurial has in his skill set is creativity. Has to have it. You got to be creative. As a matter of fact, you won't even make it as an entrepreneur if you're not creative. You got to create in order for things to happen. So you're the guy, the entrepreneur. So you're sitting there and you're talking to your people and you're telling them this is how this business works. This is how this product, this is how this service, this is what we're going to do. And you have the vision. Remember, God gives you the vision. He gave Noah the vision to build the ark, right? He gives us one vision. He told Moses, he gave him a vision, said you need to lead your people out. Here's what you need to do. We get visions from God. And I believe that. And I believe that that's a gift because he says he gives us gifts. And I believe that. I think that we dream dreams and we see things and where does it come from? Really, where does it come from? Is it just pops up in your brain? Is there not a plan for your life? It may be that you're going to create 100 jobs or 1,000 jobs or 50,000 jobs for 50,000 people or 100,000 people or whatever. And you're the guy that God gave the gift to. Build this. They will come. Build it. Hire the people. Now look at this. When you start hiring 100 people and they have families and they have children and so you're feeding all of these people, you're building a great company and you're doing some great things. And that's blessing a lot of folks when you build a company and hire a lot of folks. You got to look at it as what God is doing in your life and how he will use you to do great things. And those are great things. You hire 100 people, and pay them good salaries and they've got families. Hey, don't take that for granted. That's a huge thing that you have done. God has used you in a mighty way. I don't care what anybody says. That's an awesome thing to do, to create jobs for people. But creativity, I used to think all the time. I'd be getting up early in the morning, going to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, working out and thinking, what about this? What about that? How can I make this better? How can I design this so that it'll be more efficient? How can I build our management structure so that we can be more productive? How can I get people to do this and do that? And thinking all the time about that and truly being creative and this creation, you were thinking about everybody has a different DNA, right? There's some people that are extremely creative. There's some people that are pushed to the limit to just work very, very hard and come up with all kinds of great ideas. And there are other people that are made more to come in and follow. They could. I used to tell people all the time, I can follow and I can lead. Whatever I need to do, if I need to lead, I'll lead. If I need to follow, I'll follow. If somebody's got a better plan than me, I can jump behind them and I can go make that happen. That's a skill. Knowing when to follow, knowing when to lead, knowing these things. So creativity, again, being really, really smart. It's a foundational skill set for an entrepreneur. Is to be creative, and it's really a requirement. You've got to be able to be creative. Now, the other thing, and the next thing, is leadership skills. Now, a lot of times we'll run into an entrepreneur with some great ideas trying to build something, and he just fails on the leadership. Can't manage people, doesn't take the time to listen to them, doesn't take the time to cultivate and build a team around him that can lift up and really go forward with whatever his creativity was, whatever he created. Somebody has got to surround it with a team, whether it be salespeople, operational people, financial people, legal people, whatever it takes, engineers, architects, whatever, manufacturing, whatever. You got to have a team. And you got to have leadership skills. You got to be able to motivate, not just lead, but to motivate. You want people to want to work for you and to work hard for you and believe you and work and want to work for you. And you have to motivate them. Not only with just tell them how great they are and what you need them to do, but I'm talking about motivate them with, as you build the company, with incentives financially, potentially stock options and ownership and other things, bonuses, things that will, nothing like a man going home and telling his wife, hey baby, we did a great thing. I helped the company, pull the wagon over that hill on that deal. We just got this big deal done, and, I got a $50,000 bonus coming. Now that is awesome. That is awesome. To be able to do something like that is just fantastic. So I think what we are looking at here in leadership skills is not something narrow. It's something that is broad. It's everything from being able to motivate people, but also and to manage people, to know how to manage people, and to put into place a management structure so that you are able to give authority to different people that you can trust, who will in fact help you administrate the productivity of all employees within your organization. Now, the reality of it is, once you get over about 6 or 8, 10 people reporting to you, that's pretty much it. You really need to start building in an organization that is layered with other people that, you put people under them and then people under them and on and on and on, so that you have, imagine running a company like I did with 52,000 employees. We had 120 officers in the company at one time, regional vice presidents, group vice presidents, senior vice presidents, all the way down to assistant vice presidents, and people reporting up and down the line. And that was necessary to be able to manage 50-something thousand people, and everybody had a reporting relationship, and everybody had an annual performance review, and there was a process in place to make sure that everything worked the way that it's supposed to work, and there was a reporting relationship that kept everything structured and intact, and that's important. And the last thing I want to talk about today, before we finish up on this particular episode, is courage. Courage, it's taking a risk. Again, takes courage, right? And sometimes it's pretty nerve-wracking when you step out on your own and you, for the first time, and you leave the comfort of that, getting that paycheck every 2 weeks, and now you're out there. Your job is to build a successful business, and it really does require courage. And so the entrepreneur, as he steps out there and he begins to take on all the risk and all the responsibilities of making sure that there's an infrastructure in place to manage everything, but also, you got the sales, you got the production, you know how deep it is. I don't need to beat y'all to death with all this, but you got to have an organization that can, in fact, execute and make things happen. So, as an entrepreneur, the courage, to take on the risk and to manage the risk. So, Those things are important. So we've talked about several things today, and the creativeness, and we talked about the curiosity, the awareness, the persistence, the ability to adapt to things, adaptability, creativity, leadership skills, and very important, courage. So a lot of good things here that we've talked about today. We've discussed a bunch of companies that were bootstrapped and that became billion-dollar companies, or sold the business for hundreds of millions of dollars. So I hope that this has encouraged some of you today. Just listening to some of these things. We have a lot more we want to talk about in the future. We're going to keep coming back, and we're going to expand this platform. We're going to talk about other companies, other businesses, other things that are important to financing your company, building your company, and motivating your employees so that they line up with you and help you pull the wagon over the hill or up the hill, whatever it takes, okay? And don't forget, go to brotherscleaner.com and get you some of this multi-purpose cleaner. I promise you, you'll be happy that you did. This is an incredible product, cleans everything. And guys, once your wife starts using this, she'll get rid of all that other stuff, I promise you. And ladies, you start using this, you'll be very, very happy that you've got this product. Matter of fact, I have some ladies have told me they have one of these in every room because whatever comes up, they've just got it, they're on it, they're cleaning it. So, well, look, hope you have a great week. Appreciate you watching our show. Don't forget to subscribe. So check us out on YouTube. Go on YouTube, subscribe. We'd love to have you as a subscriber, and we'd love to have you watching our show and viewing our show every week. And we hope that you have a great week and that you follow your dream. And we'll see you next time.